good evening. Well, more like good morning based on what time you're seeing this, because it's late as I'm doing this. Now, I know you've been patient and I know you've been waiting, so let's go ahead and get to what this man been saying. And yeah, he's tripping as usual. Tripping like usual. One or the other. Whatever, man, let's get it started.
Chances you encounter a chick with authentic ass, authentic sexy, could double stack you, nice knows how to.
Man, we just get started on one, man. It's like this man don't talk about nothing else. Like, how old are you, bro? Are you 16, 17? There's no way you 40 years old or near 40 and that's all that's on your mind all the time. Like, come on, bro.
And authentic at the same time that doesn't have a body count.
And basically what he's saying is all of these quote unquote traits and the lady not having a body count or having a very low one, which as of these days, I mean, yes, it will be very rare, but also you have to consider who's to blame for that. Because people like you say what? Backshot babies or only backshots. Now, what I don't like is the fact that a lot of you guys push this type of culture and say, mess around. Well, you got to do this with somebody. So guess what? You're contributing to the problem. Now, a lot of you guys ain't got no discipline. You ain't got no D-discipline. You don't care if it's somebody's girlfriend. You don't care if it's somebody's wife or whatever it is. You feel like you winning. You're like, oh, if I could take somebody's girl, you feel like you winning. But in reality, you just out here starving. And all you brothers out here starving are messing up the market and messing it up for everybody else. Because if y'all stop doing that, if you stop, because women, how can I put this? Women have the ability to make choices to lay with who they want more than a man can lay with who he wants. So by default, if it was the other way around, let's just say dudes could all the time lay with the women they wanted to lay with. Would they or would they not do that? Now, as I say these things that I'm saying, I'm not saying I'm taking their side. I'm not saying I'm taking anybody's side. I'm here to be a voice of reason to have you think about what you're doing and what you're saying before you say it and consider your actions. If 1,000 men are in a woman's DM, like you got to just think of the mental hold that I have on somebody. If every time you log into your social media, you just post a regular picture that you don't even find yourself attractive in, and you get 100+ DMs from all these thirsty dudes. And then you could just literally siphon through and look through and be like, it ain't too bad. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say something back to him. Right? Imagine you had 100 women in your DM, right? And you know all of them, whoever you decide to choose to say, oh, I want to lay with this person, you can. You're not going to do that? And you want to get mad at these women for having a body count? Now, these women wouldn't have these inflated egos if y'all starving asses wasn't in their DMs, if you wasn't on all of their OFs and doing all of that. If you didn't do that, not y'all specifically, in the comment section of people viewing this, but you know who you are. If you are constantly in their DMs, inflating their egos, you are not liking their pictures, complimenting them, trying to get at them in the comment section, you are not somebody to come and complain about what you see, because if it was the other way around, you would abuse it too. You would, more times than not. That's why absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's why that saying is the way that it is.
Good luck. Can't have it all. See, that's the type of shit I'd rather be an asexual celibate guy than ever settling for anything.
You're claiming to be celibate anyway, but that's beside the point. This whole settling notion, like this is the most, look, water seeks its own level, right? I keep hearing this thing where people keep talking about, oh, I ain't gonna settle for this, I ain't gonna settle for that. You get exactly what you deserve. Let's be 100% clear. You get exactly what you deserve. And that settling thing annoys me. What I call it is meeting in the middle. You gotta understand, you're not perfect. Neither one of y'all. The man ain't perfect, the woman ain't perfect. Neither one of y'all are perfect. Both of y'all got flaws. Both of you. Both of you do. And what you have to do is reflect. You have to self-reflect and just really take a good look at yourself. Because a lot of people be like, well, I ain't settling for this and that. But you're annoying. You don't even take care of yourself. You eat poorly. You got bad habits. You have annoying habits. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're not the most cleanly person. You don't clean as much as you should, and you're kind of messy. You're unorganized. Everybody has some type of issue to where you have to understand and really reflect and understand, okay, this is where I am, right? You got to look at yourself and say, this would not be a favorable trait, but this one is favorable, right? So as you're dealing with people will notice these things that they like and or dislike. And what will happen is who you wind up with will be the balance of who you are as a character. Now, I'm not saying there's not anomalies to where you come across somebody who's crazy and or acts different, or they're somebody conniving and tries to fool you. There's always the odds of that. But more times than not, a lot of times the person you're supposed to be with, you're like, oh, I'm settling. No, you're not settling. You need to understand that you ain't perfect. And that's cool. If you want to live like that and be like, oh, I ain't settling for that, hey man, that's cool. Have at it. Do your thing. Like dudes be out here going hard on women in the comment section when they say this. Hey, look, ladies, you can have what you want. If that's what you want, hey, do your thing. I ain't here to talk crazy to you, talk down to you. Do your thing. But don't be mad when you don't get the results you're looking for.
Top of that, I'm not the type of guy where head and sex is just gonna make my life better.
Well, I'll agree with him on that. I'll give him that one. And honestly, these days, if anything, it could get you in trouble. You know, more times than not, dudes get themselves in trouble being a little too reckless. Let's move forward.
Like, cool, we could do the recreational.
And then here he goes right afterwards and undoes what he says. The recreational, which will also come with problems. No pun intended. Whatever, man.
But, you know, my soul is just incomplete.
I wonder why. I wonder why that is. Man, you even dashboard on your soul, bro.
That's how I really feel. I feel like it's just very incomplete.
Yeah, I know, bro. I mean, your ex was like your other half, man. I know. And then she moved on and did other things, bro. And then you basically threw your relationship away that you really wanted to have for games, and then don't even play the games for real. So it really defeats the purpose, because you should have just not even went to the darn competition and just stayed with your girl, because you don't take fighting games serious anyway. I don't know. That might have something to do with it. But what do I know? I'm not into psychology. I'm not a psychiatrist. What do I know? I'm just some random guy on YouTube, right?
What can fix it? Accolades. That's it.
How are you going to get the accolades if you never finish things that you start? You can't even finish a match on a video game, but you're supposed to accomplish something and get accolades? All right.
The only thing that's left for riches and fame. That's it. As cliche as that sounds, that's it for me.
Riches and fame, huh? So the admiration and the money. Two things. Even when you get it, it's not gonna do a thing for you. And what's funny is for you to be such a fan of Drake, he even said this before he started blowing up. He says all that fame don't feel the same as last year. So when you want the first year that you truly obtain it, the very next year, it ain't the same no more. It's just routine. So once you've actually gotten those things, it doesn't matter anymore. And the next step to that is people start to abuse their power because they need more and more and more, because you need something to hit like it did when you achieved that last thing. So when you wonder why a lot of people with money and fame become deviants, it's because they always want more. They always want the next high that they can't get to. They can't reach it. They can't achieve it. But when you know peace and you obtain it, you just see it for what it is. It's just a utility. Nothing more, nothing less. It won't make you happy, won't make you sad. It just exists. And you utilize it as a tool as it is. Now, what I will say, being debt free is a way to be. Money will make your life a whole lot easier, you know, because you ain't got to go ball out like crazy. You could just have it to where if you didn't really want to go to work, you ain't got to. And the more money you have, the less often you got to work, because when you got money, it's easy to make money when you pass a certain threshold. That's about it. But as far as getting these things and just saying, okay, now that I got all this money, once you've bought everything that you want to buy, that's it. It's over. So what you do now? Once you become famous, let's say, okay, now you got 100,000 eyes on you at once versus 5,000 eyes. Now when you get to 95K or 90K, it ain't good enough no more. Now you got 1 million people's eyes on you. Now anything less than 900,000, it's just not the same. It doesn't work for you anymore. You see what I'm saying? So every single time there's going to be a new level of, oh, I can't go back to that. But the reality is, it's just, you never had peace and you were chasing a waterfall the whole time. It just is what it is.
I don't get that. I'll never be satisfied in life.
You won't be satisfied regardless.
So that's all I'm gonna keep aiming for. You said, what about a son? Why would I give a f about a kid? That's nothing but an organic toy.
You see that mind frame? That's why you will never know peace. Your mind is chaos, and you wonder why you don't know peace. Crazy, right?
A chia pet. What the f? That's just a chia pet for 18 years, nigga. I can give a f about that.
So let's be clear about the true definition of what a child is. A child is self-discipline, right? A child is, how can I put this? A child is loving something more than yourself, which is something you will never understand. And seeing them grow, seeing them do everything, you know, seeing that blob turn into a person, you know, when you see your 1 or 2 year old make a joke for the first time or get up and walk, the perseverance, learning how to speak when they don't even understand words, can't read, learning every little thing, and you seeing them grow to be somebody who either you're proud of or disappoints you, but you still love them the same because that's your child. That's something that can't be replicated, can't be bought, can't be sold, only told. And when you have it, it's not something that you can truly explain unless you have it. Now I have to break down a few things of what I said. When I said sold and not told, basically saying no amount of money can buy this. No amount of money, when because it's something very specific when it's your own. You can't buy it. No amount of money can buy this or replicate this. You could try, but it's not authentic. And authenticity is what makes it official. And when I say told, it's because I can give you all the words in the world, but no amount of words that I tell you or try to explain to you will you understand. And when I say self-discipline, basically saying it will come a point in time when you have a good parent, you become your parent. You say the same things your parents did. And you basically watch this cycle. Like it's crazy because it's almost like a movie. You already know what's going to happen. And you're trying to, you know the future, right? And you're trying to figure out a way to keep them from making these mistakes that you see coming. So it becomes a game of trying to save them from themselves because they're know-it-alls. Because every child that grows up is a know-it-all. Very rarely are they not, or they really listen to you. And you're constantly just trying to save them from themselves. It's the weirdest dynamic. But in the end of the day, there's always those proud moments. And when they make you proud, there's nothing that you can do or achieve to make you more proud than to see what you created make you proud. Does that make sense? And it could be whatever it is that stands out to you. It could even be as simple as them, like one of mine beating the game on the hardest mode on something that I'm like, yo, that was really a challenge, man. You did that. That's dope. It could even be something simple like that. You can't get satisfaction from fame and money like that. Like, come on, man.
The f that gonna do for me? How would that bring me clarity? Something that I gotta spend money on and feed.
You're seeing it completely wrong. Yeah, you do spend money. Yeah, you gotta feed and you also raise. But that discipline and that experience helps you evolve as a person, helps you evolve as a man, helps you grow. That level of growth can't be bought.
Like I told you, I would love to have a kid, sure. If the technology existed, cheese wife, shut up for the 4 months. If the technology existed where me and a chick can go to a lab and collab.
Yeah, him and a chick gonna make a mixtape.
So here's how I would like to have a kid.
Well, here's the best thing you could do. Take care of the alleged one. I'm gonna say allegedly because, it's the internet and what's true is not. I'm not gonna go confirm anything, but while we're speaking on that topic, what you should like to do is take care of the one that you already got if that alleged one is yours.
And then it just shows both of our DNA strands. And then it just shows how compatible we are. We choose the sex. I sperm, she gets her egg, boom. They incubate that and it grows in a tube somewhere in the lab, and then we just come check on it frequently multiple times a month.
You basically saying you want to just skip all of the hard work and you think you're supposed to be rewarded. That's what's wrong with you, boy. All the time you think that you just supposed to skip the hard work and be rewarded and reap the benefits. It's not how life works. That ain't how that works. You cannot reap the benefits without the work. Why do you keep thinking you get to skip the work? It's like, and you wonder why it never works. No pun intended. Like you forgetting the fact that the biggest part of parenthood, when it comes to that woman, is that woman carrying that child for 9 months, growing a bond with that child that she's growing. You cannot obtain that kind of bond without carrying that child in your belly. Like, for that woman to have that bond, that she has to carry that child in her belly. She has to. So as that process goes on, even the fact of the movements as the child starts to move, there's a lot of steps that go to this. The back pain, the hard work makes it a reward to see that child. And when you can just check in and stop in on that child like you watching a stream, that is not the same. It's not the same. Heck, if you lost that child, it would borderline almost not even matter, because none of the work was there. It would have no value. The life would have no value. It would just be some random test tube baby that, it's our DNA, but I got a kid. That's what that would turn into versus, I got a son or I got a daughter, but hey, you being the person you are, man, don't reproduce. If that alleged one's yours, just don't do it again. You know what I'm saying?
For 9 months, and we come back and it's ready to be born.
How do you think this works? If you have a test tube baby that could basically be like some type of science project, birth comes from the baby leaving the canal. If the baby is in some type of tube or some type of science experiment thing, it's already there. You basically would just grab it and take it like a cheeseburger. It's not no born. It means it was on the system long enough for you to take it, but it's already there. Birth that comes from the baby, whatever, man. Whatever. We're gonna move forward. Whatever. I don't have time for this.
I don't really feel like standing in a big hospital room while a bitch is getting her busted open and it being foul in the room and the baby being yanked out of the box. Like, I really...
On top of that, you're supposed to be one of the first people the baby sees. The baby when their eyes develop, they will be seeing all of these people already. They would already be seeing all of these other people. A part of that bond is the whole process that comes with that. If you skip that process, you ruin a huge major part of that development. And then you say this like you've been in a room when a woman's giving birth before. You have no idea. It ain't nothing like what you talk about. Yeah, it can get a little graphic, but I mean, you ain't gonna be sitting there staring. I mean, it's like a blanket there, so you're not gonna be just looking like that. And then when they pull the baby, they cover it up, give it to the mom, and then you get the hold after she's held for a little bit. and then you get to hold that little bitty person. Like, it's not like you just skipping all the steps. Like, that's what's wrong with y'all. And it's not just him. There's a lot of people who think like him. That's what's like, I'm not even just really faulting him for the way that he's thinking. There's a lot of people who believe this, and they wonder why the world is so messed up now, or why so many people are messed up now, because they have a mind frame like this. They have a mindset like this.
To me, experiencing that wouldn't really do anything for me. Like, I'm not gonna just have some epiphany or some shit that it's just gonna come out. I'm gonna be like, all right, cool. You know, extra bill and shit.
Yeah, that's somewhat true, but it's extremely unfortunate you think that way, and well, your life's gonna reflect that. Unfortunate, but just don't reproduce. Let's just move forward.
Yeah, I was just really thinking about shit today, man.
You don't think?
I'm like, you know, we do really live in like a fake reality.
No, it's pretty damn real.
We live in a very envious, lying, fake bullshit reality.
Oh, he means like that. Well, I mean, hell, the Bible will tell you that. It tells you that most people are evil, and there's a very small percentage of good people. I mean, that's common sense, man.
We live in a very short form reality too. Everything's short form.
If that's what he's referring to, yeah, people's attention spans are fried. But the way he speaks, I don't know if that's what he's referring to, because, yeah, hey.
No, love doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
It most definitely does, but it's also something that can be fleeting based on your experiences with it. It exists. It really does. That's what you had prior before your ex left you. I'm gonna leave you alone, man. Don't go ragging on this boy.
Being authentic is not rewarded. Absolutely not. What the f you get for being a good guy?
Well, first things first is all your accomplishments. You get to feel them. You get to appreciate them. When you're not a good person and you either steal, rob, take advantage of people, what you obtain will never be yours. It doesn't matter how much you have in your possession. What you steal will never be yours. So in the end, you'll just keep spending, doing more, because you want to kind of figure out what it is that you really want. But the reality is, you want what was there to get it. You wanted the work. You want the satisfaction of the work it took to get it, but you don't have it because you stole your way up. So you will never be satisfied. Does that mean you'll be broke? No, of course, you'll have a bunch of money. You'll be very successful. But in the end, that success, well, to some people it doesn't matter, but to most people that success matters. That's why they fall into a depression.
Not a goddamn thing. The most evil people are usually the most successful, Lowkey. The most selfish people are the most successful. I didn't even get far in life until I became selfish.
Far in life? Debatable.
How fucked does that sound? When I was a super giving motherfucker, nothing was happening for me.
I mean, that's your problem. Just because you got it don't mean you're supposed to give it away to people. Now, you can help somebody who's helping themselves, but just giving, nah, you just gonna wind up with nothing doing that.
As soon as I became more selfish, that's when I began to flourish.
Flourish? Dude, you a grown man. Most of the time by yourself on a stream, talking to strangers with 2 cats. Bro, if that's what you want to call flourishing, I guess. And then you discussing this success, bro, I still don't see it. At least with your lifestyle, if you had like true success, like if you was truly working, truly had like movie roles or anything, commercials, if you were doing anything, I'd give you your props. I'd be like, yeah, okay, he making some moves. What are you doing though? What moves are you making? Like, I don't see nothing. I mean, outside of that award show a year and a half, 2 years ago that you quote unquote claim you don't care about. But other than that, man, I ain't seen, correct me if I'm wrong, I ain't seen no new accolades. Cheers. Hit that boy with that Drake. That take a shot for me.
Take a shot for me.
And if you're wondering why I referenced that song, you should probably go listen to it because that's what he got going right now. That whole situation.
Gotta tap into like some really narcissistic, crazy, obsessive like mode to get to that next level. Some people get lucky where they don't gotta do that. But my life, my trajectory, that's the way it's gonna work for me.
All right, Mr. Copinator, and it's still not working for you. But hey, do whatever you want. We've already told you. You chose to do things the wrong way. This whole time you've been doing it the wrong way. It was a point in time when you started doing it the right way, and then you went back to wanting to do it the wrong way. Your numbers were just fine when you had character. Now, here's what I give you. You keeping it real with your stupidity. That's how you really feel. Nothing wrong with that. But you can't fault people for looking at you sideways like, yo, you off. Like something wrong with you. So, no, you didn't have to do that. I got a whole series I still need to finish about how you did not have to do that. A lot of the things that you said, a lot of the things that you did that were out of pocket, that's on you. Now, you played the villain a little bit, but after you played the heel, you could have turned a corner and been a whole different character. You made a decision to play that role because it was easier for you to do it. You understand that the real way to do it takes work, and you don't want to work for anything. You expect it to just be handed to you because you're you, Mr. I'm me, because you're you, right? But that's enough of this. But if you kicked it with your boy this long, I appreciate you hanging with me. Links in the description below like always. And in the meanwhile, I'm out. Have a good one. And as a side note, don't ever give in to the dark side or do things the wrong way because you feel like it'll get you further. It always costs you in the long run. Have a good one. What they mean pointless violence? This fool was trying to hit me with a battle axe. Nah, you gotta get your get back.